Good morning and welcome back to ND Sunrise. I'm Luka Vaicekauskas.
And I'm Shannon Lipscomb. We hope you've had a great week and enjoyed the warmer weather. We're going to get started with our top events from this week right after the break. Welcome back. Let's get to our headlines. The ND Bridge program, which provides first years with an 8-week immersive summer experience to work with communities around the world, won't be going to South Africa this summer. While the Institute for Social Concerns has not yet commented, students believe it is due to high rates of kidnappings in South Africa. First years hoping to visit the country have been offered a program at another location.
Some news for Notre Dame students. There's a big change to the fall semester schedule. The university has officially released the fall calendar, and here's what you need to know. Unlike previous years when classes traditionally began on a Tuesday, students will now start the semester a day early, on Monday, August 25th.
Listen up, Notre Dame. Next week is Severe Weather Preparedness Week in Indiana. Notre Dame has scheduled the next test of the ND Alert System for 3:20 p.m. on Wednesday, March 5th to ensure that the campus emergency notification system is working properly. The system will utilize emails, cell phones, text messaging, and indoor and outdoor speakers. For more information about severe weather, you can visit emergency.nd.edu or email the Office of Campus Security.
If you're looking to get involved in student leadership, now's your chance. Judicial Council officer positions are officially open and applications must be submitted by Sunday, March 9th. If you apply, you'll be notified by Monday, March 17th if you've been selected for an interview, which will begin shortly after spring break. Don't miss this opportunity to make an impact in the Notre Dame community.
Notre Dame's new student body president-elect, Jerry Vielhauer, will officially step into his role in April, and NDTV's own Lilly Ashworth got to sit down and talk with him. From tackling key student concerns to setting his administration's priorities, Vielhauer looks to hit the ground running. Let's hear directly from him about his early experiences.
Hey NDTV, we are sitting here with Jerry Vielhauer, the new student body president-elect. You were elected this past February 5th after the polls closed. This was an unopposed election, so the cycle was a little bit shorter, and that win was, I want to say, guaranteed for you. Could you just tell us a little bit about that process?
Yeah, so obviously with no one else getting enough petitions to be on the ballot, they canceled the debate, and we just had an election that was uncontested. It was still the same day and everything, but it was pretty assumed that that was going to be the outcome for a while leading up. But yeah, that was very grateful to have had the opportunity and for the support from the students.
Yeah, and then this election did see some record low turnout, I imagine, because of that election being uncontested. I think a lot of us here at NDTV and students across campus just didn't really get the chance with no debate and just kind of a shortened election cycle to understand what your platforms were, what you were kind of running on. So if you could just walk us through that, something you would have said at the debate if there had been one.
Yeah, 100%. So I think that a lot of the big things we want to do are things that we've heard students complain about and speak out about a lot. So campus nutrition in the dining halls is something that we're continually working on, just like the last couple administrations, as well as a lot of the campus improvements like drainage we've seen today when it rained. I don't know about you, but my socks and shoes got soaked through on my walk to class in the morning, and that's something that we want to address. The dorms are a big thing with the laundry system, expediting work orders, upkeep on bathrooms, a lot of those issues that affect every student. And yeah, our policy, we sent out an email to the student body on Monday, so our policy is linked on there. And a lot of it isn't final. We are continuing to listen to feedback from students and include adding more, especially once we get in office and talk to the outgoing directors. We will definitely be incorporating a lot of their initiatives as well. So.
Mm-hmm. And then with that kind of shortened election cycle, is there just anything that you want students to know about you, whether it's something personal, something you like to do at Notre Dame, just like kind of anything where they didn't get to really see it from you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very like outgoing. I'm someone who like loves to talk to anyone and everyone at all times. I love Notre Dame. My love for Notre Dame started the second I got here, welcome weekend freshman year. And then my sophomore year, I helped be a co-lead for welcome weekend for my dorm, which I loved, and helping welcome everyone else in. I found great community at Notre Dame, and I really want to give back to a place that's given so much to me. And for Sonia, it's the same reasons. It's really all about making a better experience for everyone on campus here. And that's really what I want everyone to know. It's the big thing, and that I'm just always like willing to talk and always want to hear what students think because we serve you. So.
Yeah, and then looking more towards the future, so you were elected on February 5th. It's the last day of February today, and then we're going to go into March, which is your last month before you take office, April 1st. What are some of the first things that you're planning on doing once you take office?
Yeah, I mean, first things, once we take office, we're going to have our directors in place, and then throughout kind of the rest of this year, we're going to be looking at the members of the departments that have applied and making sure we really like flesh those out as best as possible, having as many people involved as we can, and then really getting on working on those administrative things, like things with administration in terms of policy that we can help work on over the summer. Like a couple things we really want to hope we can get done over the summer is like bringing in new equipment to the Rock is a big thing everyone's talked about. Working with the dining halls to set up those good relationships to talk about potential like different meal plans, especially for underclassmen, as well as maybe like talking about the flex points or the late night dining and grab and go hours. Just a lot of those things that take time because a lot of the programming really happens once we come back next year. And a lot of the policy stuff that takes a little more time. So really getting on some of those policy things, some of the campus improvements that we really want to address. So.
And then my next question, you just released this past Monday the executive department applications, which are now open, and a lot of students have seen some changes with that. It's dropped down from, I think, around 20 departments to now 16, with some getting rid of, I want to say it's South Bend engagement, sustainability, national affairs, and political engagement, and then the LGBTQ advocacy programs, and then some were kind of restructured, combined together. That would be, I want to say, international engagement and race, and then race and ethnicity cabinets combined. So I think a lot of people are just wondering what those changes were for and why you made them. So if you want to just walk us through some of those reasons.
Yeah, so to clarify on a lot of those, like we aren't taking anything away. What we're doing is we're just moving things around. And so, like, for example, the LGBTQ advocacy department, as well as like Title IX and women's initiatives, we're bringing together in one to make a bigger, like more powerful and more like concentrated effort in that department. It's all about, like, for us, creating like more efficient processes. We're going to have like even like larger groups of people dedicated to those, where we can empower those communities to work on those things internally in those departments with bigger departments, and then we can also help to with less departments, obviously, to meet and have a little bit less like reach across many people, but then like help them be empowered to go deeper into their areas, so that we can then work on some of those policy issues within administration that affect all students, like campus dining. And then so with the other ones, like you mentioned, the racial relations as well as international engagement, that's kind of the same thing. Like we might be bringing together like co-directors for these departments, but there's nothing that we're going to be cutting. We're going to be keeping the initiatives of these departments, just restructuring them and kind of changing the format of what we want to do. And a lot of this was because it really became like a lot of departments. I mean, this has gone from like 10, 15 to like 20 plus in just like a few years. And with 9 branches of the student union and so much going on there, that really makes it more difficult for us to like give our all to all of those departments and all of those people. And so by consolidating things and bringing things together, we hope to continue the same initiatives and programming that has done before, but it's just a little bit different of an organization. And you mentioned like sustainability. That's something we don't want that just confined to one department. We want to like expand that to all our departments and have student practices being undergone in across the board. And with the national affairs and political engagement, that was one where last year in election year we felt was like very powerful with having that election, but with next year not having an election, not having those things to deal with. We want to help, like once again, with taking kind of the nutrition aspects, like part of that from student life, university policy, and elsewhere into one. We can now bring some of the initiatives from NAPE, which is National Affairs and Political Engagement, to other departments like student life, and then empower groups like ND Votes and like Bridge ND to really have a larger platform and grow in the kind of area that leaves.
Awesome. And then one more was that the Observer posted their endorsement, which was to abstain and then to abolish student government. And I think a lot of people might be feeling those sentiments of what does student government actually do? Why is it necessary? So I just want to give you the platform to explain why student government is necessary and how you might be trying to engage more with the student body to make them see why you think it is necessary.
Right. Yeah, I mean, student government is a lot for students, and a lot of it is behind the scenes people don't see. With the past administration, there's been numerous amounts of programming that helps all student groups. That's one of the reasons that some people, I think, are like speaking out some of the department changes, because they just want to make sure that those programming events that have been impactful to them are still being continued, and they are, like I was talking about. But yeah, student government does a lot of work with administrators, like administration in general, different bodies on campus and groups like university dining, and all of that work takes time. Bringing in spices this year, which something Dawson May did, bringing in the pasta stations, all of those kind of changes take time, and the digital IDs is something also that has been proposed by student government like years ago, but now is finally coming into fruition after people have talked to administration, had those conversations over the year. So I think it's really about having patience. If student government's abolished, then there is no representation for the students, and then there's no bridge from the administration to the student body. So I think that while there are changes that need to be made in student government, and that's what we're taking the first step of doing here, because that's what the student body has told us, we definitely think that there's numerous benefits, and know there are numerous benefits of student government with all 9 branches, no matter how it might be seen on a day-to-day basis from students. There are a lot of people working very hard for the students to serve them, and everyone here that is at Notre Dame loves Notre Dame, and that's our main priority, is giving back.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. We really appreciate it, and we just wish you the best of luck going into your final month before you take office.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Lily. Tomorrow is March 1st, so we're kicking off the Women's History Month and the Month of the Irish with a special performance from the Notre Dame's and St. Mary's Irish Dance Team. Here I have 2 performers. What are your names, Is?
Hi, I'm Hannah McGillian. I'm the Gold Team Co-President of the Irish Dance Team.
And I'm Lainey Young, and I'm Treasurer of the Irish Dance Team.
All right, how long have you guys been dancing for?
I've been dancing since I was 5 years old, so about 17 years.
And I've been dancing since my 4th birthday, so about 15 and a half years.
Wow, and what are you performing for us today?
Today we will be performing the St. Patrick's Day.
All right, let's see it. Wow, thank you so much. Do you have any upcoming performances where students can see you live?
Yes, we do. You can catch us this Sunday at the women's basketball game on College Game Day.
Make sure to check them out. But if you're a fan of love, drama, and just a little bit of chaos, then you already know The Bachelor has been delivering all of that above this season. And lucky for you, our very own Emmie has been keeping up with every rose, every heartbreak, and every shocking twist. Emmie, what's the verdict this week?
What happened Monday night on The Bachelor? Well, we kicked things off with a one-on-one date with Juliana and Grant. They walked around Scotland. It was very romantic. They went to a castle and went to a Bridgerton-style ball. The 2 of them had dinner, and things got emotional when they were both talking about how they shared something really special in common, in that they had both had someone really close to them struggle with addiction. So I think that connection was really strong with Juliana and Grant. Next, we had a group date, and that group date was with Alex, Serafina, Carolina, Zoe, and Dina. Zoe was particularly upset not to have a one-on-one since she has yet to have a one-on-one date with Grant. However, the women played some Scottish games. Carolina got a bit upset just with the whole process, and she spent some time crying, but Grant did comfort her and made her feel a lot better.
And then after that, there was a one-on-one date with Latia. So Latia and Grant, the two of them, had a nice day in Edinburgh. They drank whiskey, they played bagpipes, they tied the knot, which is a Scottish tradition. And Grant actually did end up telling Latia that he could see her as his wife, which is a pretty big deal. However, Latia did drop some news on him that she is part of the Mormon faith, which was interesting, an interesting development for sure. Come the rose ceremony, roses were given out to Latia, Juliana, Dina, and Zoe. So sadly, we said goodbye to Alex, Serafina, and Carolina. So unfortunately, we had to say bye to those girls, but now we have the final four, Dina, Juliana, Zoe, and Latia. And these four will all have hometown dates next week, and Grant's going to meet their families, so that's pretty exciting. Personally, I still think Juliana is the biggest front runner. Zoe definitely also looks strong, but we'll have to see what happens next week.
Students were soaking in the sun this week as temperatures reached 50 degrees here in South Bend. Let's check in with Jake Irons for the weekend forecast.
Hey, thanks so much, Shannon and Luke. You take a look at that radar for you. Opening the day here today with some cloudless skies. It then happens to have some clouds start to filter in over Saturday, and that's where you're going to start to see some interesting weather forecasts as the coat is going to have to come back out of the closet after for what has been such a nice swing of days over the last couple of days. Coat's going to have to come back out. Let's take a look at your forecast for this weekend. It is gorgeous today. However, there will be winds up to 30 miles an hour. That will be sustained. You'll look at gusts to 50 miles an hour throughout the day, especially maybe if you're going up to Benton Harbor. Maybe you're going to go see Lake Michigan this weekend. You're going to want to maybe bring that extra coat, even with it being a high of 56. Wind will be a constant factor throughout the day. And it stays a constant factor into Saturday with a little bit of snow showers that are starting to flurry in the morning. It's going to make for slick roads out there. That's where you're going to want to be concerned. Maybe you're going to a Saturday brunch. Maybe you're going off campus somewhere you want to go do a little bit of shopping. Take a look at the roads. It should be covered. It will just be a coating. It shouldn't be more than an inch of snow into that Saturday morning, but it should be all done by noon. Now moving into Sunday, you're going to take a look. It's 35 degrees, partly cloudy as it normally is, and we return back to normal South Bend weather. But really, the highlight of this weekend is Friday. If you can get out today, get outside. Go take a part in it. Go for a campus walk. Shannon and Luka, I would go take a walk today if you could. It is 56 degrees in South Bend in February.
Now let's turn to one of Notre Dame's most beloved traditions, the Keenan Review. This annual event, which has been entertaining students since 1976, is back once again, running from Thursday, February 27th to Saturday, March 1st at Steffen Center. Known for its hilarious skits and impressive musical performances, the review is entirely written and performed by the men of Keenan Hall. And this year's theme is Reviewston, we have a problem.
Hello everyone, I'm here at the Steffen Center where the Keenan Review is taking place this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I am here with some of the producers and directors of the show. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hi everyone, I'm Aiden O'Brien. I am a co-producer this year with Zach Ebner.
Hi there, my name is Joey Kositsky. I am this year's show director.
I'm Zach Ebner, and I'm the other co-producer.
Alrighty, thank you so much. And so just a quick question, like if you could explain to people watching, what is the Keenan Review? Like how did it start? What is it for? What can students expect in the show this year?
I think this is a great question for Joey, our director.
Sure. The Keenan Review has existed for 49 years. This is our 49th annual show. So in 1976 it started really out of nothing. The Keenan vibes were pretty low as a whole across the dorm, and the RAs and a couple other leaders within the dorm wanted to do something to rally the spirit, to make the guys proud and showcase their talents a little bit. So they put together a show in Washington Hall. It was a success. They actually were requested to perform a rendition of the show the following week, and really it just grew from there. It's gone through a lot of changes and growth over those years, but it has kept its core identity the same, and it is something that just showcases all the different eccentricities of the hall. It really highlights the quirkiness of Keenan Hall. It's a great time to watch, and I would argue a greater time to be a part of. So really it is the hallmark of what makes Keenan Keenan, and it is a joy year after year to be a part of.
Alrighty, thank you so much. And this year, the theme of the Keenan Review is Reviewston, we have a problem. So I think we're supposed to expect a lot of space, Star Wars maybe, not sure. Could you just describe kind of how that process works, making creating the theme and kind of how it leads into the show? Like if there's specific, I don't know, like specific skits or music that you choose.
Sure. So the theme selection process begins with everyone in the dorm. Starting around early fall, we usually place on just about outside every bathroom, we'll place a pen and a blank sheet of paper, and it'll just say, write your themes for this year's review. Usually around October, November, we take those down and start looking through them. And then as a head staff, keep in mind the dorm's about 240, 250 people. Head staff of about 40 people. We end up voting on the themes and then deciding from there. So involves a lot of the hall, very widespread effort to get where we are today and get to the review so we have a problem theme.
Very nice. And then my next question for you guys is, leading up to this, you're in your tech week right now. What goes into making a show of this size? And just kind of how do you rally the whole dorm as a whole to go out and like spend all their time, especially this week, with the review?
Great question for Zach.
I was going to say.
Yeah, so it's a really long process. We start from the very beginning of the first semester of a year. And basically right away, we start with planning and logistics and preserving our spaces and stuff, and then selecting our team of staff members. What's great about the review is there's so many different things that so many different people can do. Any musical instrument and you can be a part of the review. Any desire to dance on stage and you can be a part of the review. And skits, anyone can write a skit, and if it's funny enough, it'll be in the review as well. But it's a really long process. I mean, it's hours and hours of practicing music, practicing dances, memorizing lines, and doing promotional events and stuff like that. And it starts really from the beginning of the year, and there's a lot of work all the way up until Tech Week, where we spend a lot of hours in Step and Center.
All right, thank you. And then finally, what do you want students to take away from this? Why should students see the show? What makes it like a good part of Notre Dame culture? Just kind of, if you each want to go down and say maybe your favorite thing about the show, or why you think people should come.
My favorite thing about the show, I guess the reason why I think people should come, is just because here at Notre Dame it's a very academically rigorous environment, as well as a party hard environment. I think this is definitely showcasing some of that party hard environment. You know, getting 4,500 to 5,000 people together over 3 nights to not only celebrate some of the things that make Notre Dame, but also just to laugh together, take a moment to relax, and blow off some steam.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Bringing it back to the history once more, the Keenan Review was founded kind of with the idea of brightening up campus in a time where things aren't always the brightest. Of course, we're all familiar with the permacloud here. So really, the Keenan Review is built to be a bright spot across all of campus. It's not just for the guys of Keenan Hall. We hope that everyone can take away some sort of memory, whether it's a quote from a skit, a song that they really loved, whatever they take away from it. It's personal. I think that's one of the great things. Everybody has a different favorite skit every year, but it's just really fun to see how people light up in the audience, in the dorm, and otherwise, and it really does make a tangible difference on the spirits that people have. So that's what's always been special to me.
I think what's really special about the review to me is kind of how it brings the whole Notre Dame community together. Everyone on campus can come together and laugh about ourselves, the campus, the dorms, all as a group, and also enjoy some really great live music and laugh at some Keenan guys doing some funny dances on stage. Just generally, the Keenan Review is a great opportunity for all of the Notre Dame students to come together, relax for a weekend, and kind of laugh at ourselves as a student body of Notre Dame.
All right, thank you so much, you guys. Make sure to go check out the Keenan Review. There are 2 shows left, tonight and then Saturday night.
Thanks so much, Lily. We can't wait to see the show. Now let's check out some other events happening on campus. Tonight, the College of Science will be hosting Light the Night in honor of Rare Disease Day at 7 p.m. on Library Lawn. Notre Dame students, faculty, and staff, as well as members of the South Bend community, are invited to gather at the Word of Life mural to honor those living with rare disease and those who have battled bravely.
It's a big weekend for Notre Dame athletics. On Friday, women's lacrosse takes on Duke at 2 p.m., while softball faces LSU and San Diego State in a doubleheater. Women's tennis hosts Wake Forest at 4 p.m. and men's tennis visits Georgia Tech at 5 p.m. The highlight of the night, Notre Dame hockey battles Michigan State at Compton Family Ice Arena at 7 p.m. for senior night. On Saturday, softball continues in Burlington, taking on Arizona at 2:30 p.m. Don't miss out. Cheer on the Irish.
And in more professional sports news, the WNBA announced today that the Las Vegas Aces and Dallas Wings will play a preseason game on Friday, May 2nd at 7 p.m. in Purcell Pavilion. The contest will feature 3 former Notre Dame players, Enrique Agumbawale with the Dallas Wings, and Jewel Lloyd and Jackie Young with the Las Vegas Aces. Presale tickets will be available to students on Tuesday, March 11th.
Exciting news from Notre Dame's Film, Television, and Theater Department. Heart on Fire, a brand new musical by student Olivia Seymour, is sold out for its second weekend at the Philbin Studio Theater. This production is the official selection for NDFTT's New Works Lab, a program designed to give students the opportunity to develop and stage their own original musicals. Hopefully you got your tickets to support your fellow Irish. And that's all we have for today.
Thanks so much for tuning in to ND Sunrise. We hope you have a great weekend, and go Irish!
Enjoyed the show? Catch our newscast every Friday morning in the Duncan Student Center and North Dining Hall from 9 to 11 a.m. You can also find us on the NDTV YouTube page under the ND Sunrise playlist. And to keep up on all of the latest news, make sure to follow us at Notre Dame Television on Instagram and at Notre Dame TV on X, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want to get involved with NDTV, we're always searching for people interested in student-led broadcasting and TV production. Come visit our studio on the 2nd floor of Duncan Student Center, or send us an email at ndtv@nd.edu. Go Irish!